Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello if you're new. So today's episode is going to be a review of Rupaul'S Drag Race Season 12, Episode 7. So obviously recapping last week, Aiden finally ran out of lives after Britta beat her in a lip sync. And this week's episode opens with obviously Britta rubbing Aiden's lipstick off of the mirror. And she's changed her tune quite a lot. Now she's suddenly saying how she loves Aiden and she wishes her the best, blah, 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 all of that fake shit, yeah. And it's just like, girl, the fakeness. I'm probably thinking, she's thinking, okay, maybe I've come across too mean on TV. Let me try and redeem myself. But the thing is, if you're going to try and do that media training, you have to keep it consistent. You can't be a total bitch one week and then try and be nice another week, like people are going to forget. But good try, Britta. Widow's clocked the fakeness because all of the other girls are kind of chiming in like, yeah, we're going to miss you, Aiden. We love you, Aiden. After they were all cussing her out as well. I think the only real bitch, the only person that was really there for Aiden was Heidi, but everyone else was fake. Widow is obviously not chiming in because, you know what, I can respect Widow because if she's going to be a bitch, at least she's going to be a real one. She's not on that fake shit. So she's on the confessional basically saying all of these bitches are fake. In last week's Untucked, there was drama. I don't usually watch Untucked because I just kind of feel like half the time it's boring. And the good stuff they usually put in the main episode as a flashback anyway. But there was some drama that went on in Untucked. And I think it was a thing where basically some of the bottom girls, so Britta, Widow and Heidi, but I think more specifically Widow and Heidi were complaining about being in the bottom. And I think it's a thing where you just want to vent, like, you know you've done shit, but you just want to vent about being shit. And some of the top girls, Jackie and Gigi in particular, was piping up and saying, well, you would have done better if you did this and did that. So basically lecturing them. And then they felt a type of way because they just felt like, one, nobody asked you. And second, like, I'm trying to vent. And also, you're not making me feel any better about my situation by lecturing me. And it just kind of burns because you're in the top. I'm in the bottom. So I guess, you know, Heidi has the biggest issue with Gigi because Gigi came for her makeup unprovoked, unsolicited. She basically said, well, you're in the bottom because you haven't improved your makeup. And that's why you're always in the bottom. And I guess I see it from both point of views. I think Gigi was generally trying to offer some genuine advice, but I also see it from Heidi's point of view as well. It's a thing where you're already down in the dumps, you don't need anyone lecturing, and nobody asked you, and everybody knows Heidi's defensive as fuck about her makeup, so I don't think it was wise for Gigi to go there. I think Gigi definitely thinks, well, not even thinks, Gigi knows she's the top bitch. And that's always going to rub the bottom bitches the wrong way when you try and come for them. Even if it's on an advice thing. If you're coming for them, the bottom bitches are always going to feel a type of way. So I feel like Gigi should have just left it, minded her business, and let everybody send themselves home. Because at the end of the day, it is a competition. I'll never understand why people try and help out their competition. In terms of Heidi, I do think there was an overreaction there, but I think maybe the competition is high stakes. But I do agree, it wasn't Gigi's place or Jackie's place to pipe up and say anything. They should have just let them vent because it was a clear venting situation. I hate when, like, you know you've done shit and then somebody's like, oh, well, you should have done this and you should have studied harder. Blah, blah, blah. That shit is annoying. I hate a lecturing ass bitch. But yeah, you can't help people that don't want to help themselves. Yes, Heidi's makeup is shit, but if she thinks it's the best in the world, just leave her to it. That's kind of my piece on it anyway. But what do you think? Do you think that Gigi should have minded her business, or do you feel like Gigi had a right to offer her advice and Heidi and Widow were just in their feelings, they were doing too much, they reacted the wrong way? What do you think about that whole dilemma situation? Gigi tries to apologize. She basically says that she didn't mean for it to come off mean. She was generally trying to give advice. And Heidi is basically just like, well, nobody asked you, so that's that. Gigi kind of just takes it on the chin. She's kind of just like, okay, I know you're feeling some type of way, so I'm just going to leave it. Jackie had more of an issue with Widow, or Widow had more of an issue with Jackie. And Jackie said this really sincere apology, basically saying, you know, she didn't mean to make you feel horrible. She was just trying to give advice. And I honestly believe that Jackie was being very genuine. Obviously, in the confessional, Widow is just basically like, she's not here for this fake apology. All of these bitches are fake. She's done with these hoes. This isn't best friends race or whatever. And she basically is just like, I don't accept your apology. I still feel a type of way. And I hope that you both fail on this week's challenge so I can have a chance to tear you down and make you feel as shit as you made me. Just some evil shit. Like, Widow is a bitch. She was the bitch for that. Like, that was very malicious and evil. I just feel like it was never that deep. Gigi and Jackie weren't doing it in a malicious way. So it's very clear that Widow has a complex. She definitely has a complex. And I came for Nikki the other week because she said some shit about alluding to the fact that, you know, Widow had a complex because of her hard upbringing. And I thought maybe it was a bit shady going on, maybe a bit of a microaggression going on there. But now I understand what Nikki was saying now, because it's very clear that Widow has a complex. She's very insecure and she's taking it out on who she is most insecure about, her biggest competition. But what do you think? Is anyone team Widow on this, or does anyone feel like Widow has a complex and she's taking it and she's projecting on Jackie? And I think the reason why she is projecting on Jackie, because Jackie was just like, what the fuck? Like, I literally just apologized and you're basically wishing me to do bad. Like, that's the worst thing you could wish on me as a competitor. Like, that's so evil spirited. And I think she knew she could antagonize Jackie to that level because she knows that Jackie is harmless. So yeah, I mean, I'm here for the drama, you know, as a person who loves drama, I'm here for the messy drama. But yeah, that weren't it, Widow. That really wasn't it. And it's definitely going to come back to bite her. It all makes sense why her name is Widow Von Du now. It all makes sense. So there's no mini challenge this week, and the main challenge is a Madonna themed musical. There's dancing, there's raw singing, so they have a little recording skit that they always have with these challenges. There's no team captains or anything, and there's no random person picking the roles. They all have to come together as a communal group to dish out the roles. This week they all had to be different types of Madonna and perform in that Madonna persona, so therefore Coimbra, Madonna, etc. Obviously the more dominant queens in terms of personality, they pretty much got the roles that they wanted. Widow got the role that she wanted. Jada got the role that she wanted. Jackie got the role that she wanted. Pervy Pie got the role that she wanted. One thing to note, I always have to give an update, but I'm really confused by this Pervy Pie edit. She's in the episode more than she was last week, but there were some parts where she was there and then some parts where she was missing. The Pervy Pie edit is so confusing. It's so discombobulating. And then there was a little bit of dictatorship going on, a little bit of dictatorship in the group. I feel like Jackie is, even though Jackie's really nice, she is a very strong competitor. She is very dominant. She is a leader. And I think maybe that's why Widow low-key has a problem with Jackie, because she wants to be the leader of the group. And she basically just tells Jan, I want you to be this character. Jan is a bit resistant to being this specific Madonna. I think it was current Madonna. She ends up just agreeing to what Jackie and the girls say. Again, Jackie was just like to Crystal, you should be hippie Madonna. And she was like, okay, yeah, I'll be that. But there was a little clash because there was two queens that wanted a specific Madonna. So Gigi and Britta both wanted to be Coimbra Madonna. And to most people in the mainstream, you know, Coimbra Madonna is the most iconic Madonna. When I, heard Coimbra Madonna, instantly I thought Gigi. And I think most people, especially Gigi fans, Gigi stans, were probably thinking Coimbra Madonna has Gigi written all over it. So I just kind of thought it was a no-brainer. But obviously with the girls in charge, I was just like, I bet they're going to give it to Britta. And obviously they did. And I just feel like the girls were definitely trying to plot against Gigi. Obviously Gigi is a big competitor. She's the biggest competition. So I feel like they were definitely plotting on my girl Gigi. Widow is in the confession, like he basically hinting that she's hoping that Gigi's going to fail. And I know a lot of bitches are praying for my girl Gigi's downfall. Will they see it? I don't think they will. So even though Gigi didn't get the role that she wanted, I wasn't really worried about her at that point, because I just felt like Gigi, she's a superstar. She can literally just do anything. Then we see them recording their verses for the musical. And throughout the recording, we just see Widow just saying really shady and bitter stuff in the confessional definitely gave Widow a bad edit. Like, if I was Widow watching this, I would just be like, oh my god, they actually did me so dirty, because she came across as a bitter, jealous bitch in this episode. I wouldn't say that I don't like her, because it provides entertainment. There needs to be a villain of the season, and she makes a fitting villain. She kind of reminds me of, I'm not sure who it was, I think it was Benina Osama bin Laden. She reminds me of her. I'm getting those vibes. In terms of my assessments, just looking at the singing, from there I was kind of thinking, okay, Jan is looking like she could be in the top, probably going to win it. Her singing was great. Britta, she was good. I was thinking maybe she's not going to be in the bottom this week. She could potentially be in the top just based off of the singing. They kind of made a point to point out that most of the girls can't sing, but the edit basically highlights Jackie and Gigi struggling. And that's when I was thinking, well, maybe Widow's prophecy / spell curse could come true, because sometimes the edit has like little Easter eggs in it. So then they have the dancing rehearsal, and again, Jan is good. So I was kind of thinking, it's probably a sure thing that Jan is going to win this competition, because she can sing great, she can dance great, this is her lane, she always has a pretty decent runway. So I'm thinking, okay, sure thing, Jan is going to win. For me, it was just kind of like, well, who's going to be in the bottom? And also, of course, other people were hyping her up as well. Britta was in the confessional hyping her up, basically saying that, you know, alluding to the fact that she thought Jan was her biggest competition, like basically alluding to the fact that she thought she could even compete. Bless Britta, we love the full sense of confidence. In terms of the people who are struggling with the choreography, again, Jackie looking a bit stiff. I kind of thought maybe this could be a bad week for Jackie. Widow was talking a lot of shit about, you know, people failing this week, but she was coming up with all those excuses in the dance rehearsal, talking about she's got a bad knee, she busted her knee. When she lifts her leg up, all we're seeing is like a little graze in her knee. I was like, really, bitch? That little ass graze? Sorry, I don't buy it. I just thought that was very funny. Obviously, Britta's in the confessional like, that cut, bitch, really? From week when? And I was like, you're going to have to come better with those excuses, honey, especially after talking all of that shit. And then Gigi again, she's also coming across a bit stiff. But the thing is, at that point when they showed Gigi again, I was thinking, okay, this is bait. I feel like this is a bit of baiting going on, because Jackie, we know she isn't the strongest performer, but we know that Gigi is a good performer. So when they were showing her struggling after we've already seen her turn it out consistently, I was thinking, you know what, I bet she's not even going to be in the bottom. I bet you she's going to do really well in this challenge. And that's when I knew, I was like, okay, yeah, not my Gigi. She's not going to be in the bottom. So, but yeah, was anyone kind of shook at that point? Did anyone feel like Gigi was going to do bad at that point? Or did anyone kind of suss like the producers are trying to lead us on? On Elimination Day, obviously, they're getting ready in the dressing room. And they start talking about Madonna and her allyship. And I was just like, okay, I can smell the sob story. I could smell the sob story coming on. And the first sob story was from Heidi. And she basically says how growing up, she had this gay uncle and he died of HIV. And it was really difficult because around the time he died, she was getting bullied. And he was there for her. He was her role model because she didn't have a good relationship with her father. Before we can even hear like the resolution, you know, or even like the end of the story, suddenly somebody asked Crystal, somebody cuts her sob story short and asks Crystal about what's going on in her life. I was just kind of like, hold up. What? Are we not going to let Heidi finish? I just thought that was a little bit rude. And then, so then we hear Crystal's story and it's like basically saying how her parents have been really supportive. So I was like, okay, where's the sob story? And then obviously she reveals that her father is sick and she's struggling with that because her father is her rock. He was like basically really active in the house. He did the cooking, he did the handiwork, everything, and now he's struggling to do that and it's just very upsetting for her. And you know what, that was a good sob story. I like the sob story. It's a problem that everyone can connect to. It's not necessarily an LGBT plus story. But I feel like it was a bit rude how they cut off Heidi's story. That was just a bit rude. And then after the stop stories, Gigi's in the confessional basically saying, after hearing the stories, it put everything into perspective that they're all like a drag family and they should put their differences aside because they're all each other have. That was a cute little speech from Gigi in the confessional, but we didn't see it happen. Obviously, Widow was very adamant that it was never going to be, it's not, best friends race. So I guess we'll see whether we'll have that. I think maybe we might have a little Eureka / I even forgot her name, Vixen moment when we have a little breakthrough. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Then we're back to the main stage. Interesting is that Michelle Visage recalls that Madonna's record label called up her record label, because obviously she used to be a singer, and called her out for copying Madonna's look and basically threw shade saying, if you're going to copy Madonna, at least do it well. And for those of you who don't know, Michelle was like a singer back in the day. And if you go and look at her old singing videos, when she was younger, she did copy Madonna's style, or her record label made her copy Madonna's style, like down to a T. She was literally like Madonna's son. Guest judges this week were the model Winnie Harlow and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which is the representative who has very progressive politics. I think they were all right as a judging pair. They weren't my favorite though. And then we have the challenge, and I just want to say shout out to the first guy who passed Jan the mic and the one who was in Jada's little striptease or whatever. Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a nice day. So the good, let's talk about the good. So the good, the best performer hands down, without a doubt, I fucking knew it, Gigi. I had no doubt that Gigi was going to turn it out, and she turned it out. Gigi said, bottom bitch, where? The face, the performance. This bitch flipped, turned around and carried on. Never will I see Gigi in the bottom. I highly doubt I will ever see her in the bottom. Gigi said the bottom is lava. That's what Gigi said in this performance. After that, I thought the person who would be between would be her and Jada. It was a really good performance. I definitely think she could have been a bit more sexier, a bit more sensual though. I feel like she did kind of hold back a bit. And I'm surprised that she did hold back, because that guy in the chair that she was with, he was fine. So yeah. Yeah, maybe he's not her type. But But yeah, I was surprised that she was not in the top. And obviously, I guess we have to discuss it, even though she personally was not in my tops. Jan did a good performance. Tops, yes. Top, no. And I'll tell you why. The choreography was great. The face was great. But what was off was the posture. The posture was so bad. It was like she got so into the dance that she was dancing as Jan out of drag. Because the posture was very masculine. The shoulders were hunched over. It was like watching like a b-boy. She definitely forgot that she was in drag. She definitely got a bit too into the song, I think. And that really took me out, because I was just like, posture, where's your posture, babe? Where is the posture? So for me, that's why Jan wasn't in my top. But what do you guys think? Do you think Jan was on Gigi's level? Let me know what you think. And then the bad, I think the worst was obviously Britta. Sloppy. She forgot the words and she didn't hide it well. Girl. Again. Anyway. And then it was Crystal for me. I think her performance was actually pretty decent, but it was more Crystal than it was Madonna for me. And then Heidi, the choreography was really strong, but there was absolutely no personality. It was like she was trying to focus on the moves that she was making the entire time and lip syncing, but the eyes are basically dead. It's basically like she was like in a focused death stare in the whole performance. So yeah, bottom for me. I think overall the performance was a bit stiff. It wasn't my favorite performance. And the runway this week was Michelle Visage themed, which is a bit funny. I think the best was Gigi, hands down, iconic. The body was iconic. The body was snatched, undetectable. I'd love to wear that outfit. And the nails were just a perfect touch. Simply done, but executed so well. And then my next favorite outfit was Jada. That was an iconic look. She really did that. She really interpreted that look well. In terms of the worst outfit, we only have one person on the worst outfit this week. I feel like the outfits overall are getting a bit better, but the worst outfit this week was Widow's. And for the simple fact is that everybody else's outfit at least looked better or the same as the outfit that they were inspired from. But Widow's outfit just looked like the cheap knockoff version. I don't know what shoes she was wearing. She was wearing basic pedestrian black open-toe shoes that just weren't it. It just looked cheap, very cheap. And I thought we were improving slightly. But again, Widow, I'm going to need better from you. Especially if you're going to be talking that much shit. But yeah, the commentary this week for the runway was really funny. Like when Rue said, "You up, babes?" Rue's fake Essex accent was cracking me up. So, Elimination. In terms of my predictions before Elimination, I just kind of thought Gigi killed that shit. So for me, it was hands down, Gigi was the winner. I had an inkling. I thought maybe they might give it to Jan, but I was thinking if they saw what I saw, they're definitely going to give it to Gigi. Like, there's literally no other option. And then bottom, I thought Britta's definitely up. She was hands down the worst. And then I thought the other bottom two would be Crystal and Heidi. But I think at least Crystal gave us something personality. Heidi, the face was a mess. There was no face. The performance face was a mess. There was no performance face. So my bottom two were Britta and Heidi. So this week I agree with the judges. How they announce it this week is they announce the tops and the bottoms and everyone else is safe. So the mixed top and bottoms were Jan, Gigi, Crystal, Jackie, Heidi and Britta, and everybody else was safe. So we start off with Jan. She had positive critiques. Jackie, she had positive critiques for the look. Her look was really good this week, but they noticed that she held back. In the critiques, Jackie also gets emotional and thanks Alexandria Cortez for her allyship, reveals her personal stories and how she tried to hide her Persian side and how her mother faced racial abuse when she first came to America. Gigi, positive. Britta, she's read for her performance and her lack of earrings because the earrings were missing. Attention to detail. But overall, I feel like they delivered the blow very nicely than they usually do. Crystal, she got positive critiques. Nobody read her for her performance, which I thought was quite strange. I'm not going to lie, I do think the judges are going quite easy on Crystal, to be honest. Heidi, she was read for her performance. They basically said that there was no Madonna in it, which I thought was quite interesting because I personally didn't see any Madonna in Crystal's performance. Either, granted, Crystal at least gave personality, but I feel like it's funny how they didn't critique that for Crystal. But anyway. Then obviously they deliberate and then they bring the girls back. And then it is one of the most funniest moments, I think, in Drag Race history ever. I think it is. I literally was gagging. I literally started crying from laughter because the way that they have disrespected Jan was so rude. I literally got secondhand embarrassment. But yeah, the disrespect. So, obviously, they're lining all the girls up. And Rue says Jan's name first. And the way Jan's face lit up, because she was ready. She was like, this is my challenge. This is what I've been working for. The girls were trembling. They all knew this moment was coming when I'm here to collect my $5,000 check. And then, to add insult to injury, Rue starts off with saying, Jan, you rule the world. Something along those lines. Something really positive, like something you'd say before announcing the winner of a challenge. And then Rue says, you're safe. Ah! Jan's face was honestly... Rue is evil. Rue is so rude. Wow, Jan is good. I feel like I would have called Rue a fucking bitch because the disrespect wow. And you can just see Jan is just trying to hold it together. she's trying to keep her smile on, but you know, as soon as she gets to the back of the room, you can see the smile that she always has on her face is floundering. And then there's a bit all off there how Widow Shady asked, they're editing Widow Shady asked in the confessional, basically saying how like Jan was not impressed, how she was pressed, and how basically when she must have turned around, like the smile went like a serial killer. Dad, Widow is cracking me off with that confessional. It's a cold world. It's a cold world. I mean, she wasn't the winner. She really wasn't. But, you know, she really thought she won. Lol. Oh! She's probably just like, for fuck's sake, fuck this fucking competition. But yeah, that's rude. The way that they did Jan is actually so disrespectful. But yes, moving on. And then obviously next they announced Gigi as the winner. She killed that shit 2 weeks in a row. The rightful winner of this challenge, hands down. I feel like even Jan stands, you can't deny that Gigi slayed that challenge all up. So then, bottom 3 is Jackie, Heidi and Britta. I don't think Jackie should have been in the bottom 3. I think Crystal should have. Even though I feel like Jackie and Crystal's performance weren't far off from each other. But I think Jackie did a slightly better job than Crystal in my opinion. I don't think she should have been in the bottom 3. But obviously I still agree with the bottom 2. The bottom 2 were Britta and Heidi. Obviously lip sync, Britta versus Heidi. And I thought this is going to be very interesting because they're both strong lip syncers, and it was a strong lip sync. It was a very strong lip sync. Britta gave it, Heidi gave it, but I feel like at the end of the day, Heidi is the better lip sync. She's a stronger lip syncer, and like I said in the prior podcast, I think she's going to be the lip sync assassin of this season. Yeah, I think we all knew Heidi was going to beat Britta. Like, I feel like there was no qualm about that. So yeah, you know, second week in a row, Britta was in the bottom. It was coming. It was coming. And you know what? Britta was definitely a bitch, but one thing is that she did bring the entertainment and she is a decent performer. Obviously, in the outro, she was saying how, you know, she's upset that she's left, but obviously she's going to take it on the chin and she's going to take on New York. She's going to take on the world. And I don't think that's going to happen, Britta. I don't think it is. Let me even see what her even socials are saying. I think Pervy Pie is like still, like, it's definitely affected Pervy Pie's following. The allegation. Well, obviously it's not allegations anymore. She admitted that what she did. Okay, but Britta has denied the allegations against her. So Pervy Pie's gained like she's gained a slow but steady following. I'm definitely judging whoever's followed her. Nobody I know. Actually, no. Some of the queens still follow her. A lot of the queens still follow Pervy Pie, which is interesting. Let's see, Britta. Yeah, I don't think the allegations have really affected Britta's following because she has got like 100k on Instagram now. But yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about these allegations because I've read the allegations and, you know, reading them over, some of the details about the allegations, like, don't actually make any sense. Like, do not sound realistic. And it's not a thing where, like with Sherry Pie, there were so many other people that corroborate this guy's story, whereas no one can with Britta. So I'm not sure I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm still kind of conflicted of whether whether she should be supported or not. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like Britta should be cancelled or not? I'd be interested to know. As I suspected on Twitter, people are here for the Jan drama. People are saying that at the back of the stage, Jan was having an inner monologue where she was plotting to kill Gigi. People are saying that Jan was robbed. People are speculating that Aiden is happy that Britta is gone. People are tweeting the nice dry Chan in relation to Rue never picking Jan to win a challenge. Some people are conflicted about liking Gigi and Jan and feeling like Jan was robbed. People are saying that Jan was pretending she was sad because Britta left, but really she meant to cry because she was robbed again. People are saying that Jan was robbed because, and they don't understand how Gigi won because Gigi's runway was basic. I'm not really sure, because like sometimes they base it off of the runway, sometimes they base it off of the challenge. I think Gigi personally had the best look on the runway. She had the best performance, and even if she didn't have the best look, her performance blew it out of the park. So I feel like Gigi was definitely the rightful winner this week. People are laughing that Britta has left 1 week after Aiden, after trashing her. People are saying that Jada was robbed from being in the top. Same, I'm really confused as to why Jada was not in the top. I feel like she did a better job than Jam. People are saying that they're conflicted. People are laughing how ironic it is when Britta said that Gigi had a weak spot, and it turns out that she was the winner this week and she went home. We love to see it. Britta's chatted so much shit this season. Oh my god. People are tweeting that Miley Cyrus meme when it comes to Jan. People are saying that Jan was probably screaming in her hotel room. Yeah, that's pretty much the rundown on Twitter. It's basically Britta going home and people feeling that Jan was robbed this week. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what your thoughts were on this episode. As always, let me know what you thought of my review. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to press that notification bell so you'll know when the next video is dropping. Till next time, guys, bye.